Thank you guys for watching the Credit Game. If you would take a second, please, it means the world to me and our company organization that you would subscribe to the channel. First of all, if it's your first time on the channel, I would appreciate hitting the subscribe button. And secondly, if you're already subscribed to our channel, if you would maybe leave me a comment or hit the like button, because this video has got amazing views. It's got what people are asking for. What do I do here in this situation? It comes up on a daily basis of what to do in a situation. And remember that I am the only person doing it every single day, multiple videos a day, so that way you learn credit like it is your child's name. If you ain't got a child, then guess what? You better learn it real good and put 10,000 hours, right? Because becoming your master at a craft, it takes 10,000 hours. And so what I've been studying for the last 10 years is credit, the ins and outs, the tips, the tricks, the strategies, everything you need to know that's inside the credit game so you can become the best version of yourself and actually have the highest FICO score. And that is my goal. If I can raise the national credit average from 667 to over 700, I have fulfilled my why of 2021. I'll do it this year with you guys helping. That's why I said if you could find it in your heart to hit the like button, leave me a comment below, good, bad, and differ. Hey, I want this video. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, we have gotten amazing comments, and that's how the channel grows. Fastest credit channel in national history. So, guys, thank you so much. We're going to get right into it. So let's talk about collections and charge-offs. Okay, first I'm going to tell you some things that can happen to prevent getting into that situation. And then that's why you need to watch this video all the way through, because I'm going to follow through with prevention and then going into the process of how to remove them and some of the strategy you can use there. And lastly, a solution for you. So let's start with explaining what a collection and a charge-off is. Okay, so a collection is simply what happens is you get a late payment. Okay, let's say hypothetically you have a late payment on your American Express card. Okay, 30-day late. It's going to show up in your credit report as a 30-day late. Now, it only goes late after day 31. So you can make a credit card payment. Your due date's on the 15th. You don't make it to the 30th. Well, it's only 15 days. You might get a late penalty, but it's not going to report as a late payment until 31 days after your missed payment. This is when it actually hits the credit bureaus. Well, then you go 60 days. And then you decide, you know what, screw it, I'm not paying it. It goes to 90 days. And then lastly, it goes to collection. Okay, so let's say American Express. You had a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, and then it hits collection. Well, what happens is American Express says, you know what, we want this off our books for the year. And what we're going to do is we're going to sell the debt. Okay, and there's companies out there. We're going to call this company ABC Collection Company. And what they do is they buy bad debt. So they're buying American Express bad debt and saying, hey, you know what? I am going to buy this debt. And so you guys know they are buying the debt for right around 3 cents per dollar. So let's say that you owe American Express $1,000. $1,000 credit card, you miss 30, 60, 90, goes to collections. American Express writes the $1,000 off at the end of the year and they say, you know what? Now we are going to sell the debt. Okay, they write it off their books. But they sell it to ABC Collection Company. Now, ABC Collection Company just picked that debt up for $30. Okay, so now here's what you need to know, because you know what a charge-off is? A charge-off is when they charge it off to another company. That's why the difference between collection and charge-off. Collection is when the original debt is being held by the company. Some, like Bank of America, typically holds their own debt. Discover, they hold their own debt. But a lot of companies, car companies, credit card companies, even mortgage companies, they sell the debt. They want it off their books and they sell it as the debt, and then it's the charge-off. And then it hits your account as a charge-off. Now, when it hits your account as a charge-off, okay, the older the charge-off, the easier to be removed. Okay, so a charge-off is when they bought it. Now, you know that a $1,000 debt that you'd owed American Express, ABC Collection Company just picked that debt up for $30. So you know those calls you keep getting and it says spam, or it says, you know, on your cell phone, potential spam. You know exactly which ones I'm talking about, right? The 800 numbers, you don't know what they are. Those are from companies who are trying to collect the debt. And the only reason they're calling you is to collect debt. They are trained as professionals to collect the debt. So what are they going to do? They're going to call you up and they're going to say, when you pick up the phone. They are trained to stay on the phone for at least 30 seconds, okay? You don't think these guys are rookies, right? Why? Because their only job is to collect the money. Anything they collect, because they just bought the debt for $30. Anything they collect above that $30, they keep. So it's a good investment for them to pick that debt up, $1,000 debt for 30 bucks. It's like, hell, you know what? If I can call John Smith and I can get him to agree to pay me 500 bucks, well, they just made 470 bucks because they bought it for 30 bucks. So whatever your debt is, think about the total debt the original creditor had, and then if it goes to charge-off status, they picked it up for 3 cents on the dollar. So you just multiply 3 cents times the original debt, and you'll know that ABC Collection Company bought that debt for that price, and anything that you negotiate above the $30 is a win to them. However, this is where the prevention comes in. Did you actually sign with ABC Collection Company, or did you sign with American Express? You see, most people don't know the credit game. They believe that a charge-off, they owe ABC Collection Company, when in fact, you don't owe ABC Collection Company. And although you believe that the relationship between American Express and the new collection company that bought the debt, that, you know, hey, I believe that I owe it because now they're calling me, harassing the hell out of me every day. You don't owe that money. And I know there's going to be a lot of people on here that are going to say, well, you know what, then, you know, if that was the case, well, great. You don't think they hold the paper and transfer the paper and the debt over to a new company? They do. And that's why I said the older the debt, the easier to get removed. However, legally, you do not owe ABC Collection. You never signed with ABC Collection, and this wins in court every time. And yes, there could be a judgment against you. And yes, there could be wage garnishments against you. And there are tactics, and I did videos on this as well, of if that happens, what letters to send inside the credit game to get out of it completely. Okay, so again, this is like a big legal system thing where if you know the legal system and you know the credit game, you can get out of this kind of stuff. Okay, so typically they're not going to put a lawsuit against you unless the debt is over $15,000. Anything over $15,000, then they can place a wage garnishment, or typically they'll do a lawsuit against you. And I even show you how to get out of that. So I've got videos on that. But anyway, let's go back to prevention. Let's go back to if you make a mistake, okay? Let me tell you what else I put in the credit game for you guys recently. How about late payments during COVID? So instead of it getting to the 30, 60, 90 day mark and then going to original collection, how about preventing it before? Now I get that some of you guys right now already have collection charge-offs, okay? And you don't legally owe the charge-off company, okay? I'm going to show you what to do to get those removed. But what if it never got there and you're preventing it from doing it because you have a late payment and you're like, I couldn't make the late payment. But what if you can get that late payment removed because of COVID and you had exactly how to do that? The newest thing I added to the credit game was actually how to get late payments removed in 2020 because of COVID. There's all kinds of tips and tricks and strategies and things that I'm adding into the course here that's going to help you guys win the game. Okay, so now that you know the difference between a collection and a charge-off, and you know that, look, I don't owe the charge-off company, how about if you knew the statute of limitations? So every time you get a dispute letter, look at the bottom of the dispute letter. You're going to see, it's going to say on there, statute of limitations. Look at your collection letter when they sent to you. It has the date on there, when they can collect the date up to. So each date is a little bit different for limitations, statute of limitations. So if you're looking at your paper, your collection letter, you'll see it at the bottom, okay? If it is past that date, they cannot legally collect any money from you, regardless collection or charge-off, okay? Each state has a limit of time that they can collect it. That's why they are trained to keep you on the phone, because here's what happens. Your statute of limitation time starts over when you admit guilt. In other words, they call you, you get that call, right? The spam pulls up on your spam, right? Potential spam or an 800 number. And what happens is they're trained to keep you on the phone for 30 seconds. That's what they're trained for. So now you pick up the phone, they say, hey, John. And you go, yay, this is John, what's going on? Hey, John, we just want to verify a little bit of information from you. This is so-and-so from, so-and-so agency. And we just want to verify a little bit of information, just make sure we have it correct on the file, right? And they're really good at this they are going to be really good in that 30 seconds to get as much information as they can so they can use it against you. By the way, you're dead in the water when you agree to your name. Now, there are a lot of John Smiths, but there are not a lot of John Smiths with that phone number. So now you pick up the phone and you're like, boom. Hey, this is John Smith. Yeah, I just want to verify that your address is 725 Angel Drive, and that's in Tacoma, Washington. Yeah, you're done. Now they just verified an address and your name, and guess what happens? Now the time starts over for your statute of limitations for the collection. Charge off. So what you want to do is limit that to, if you don't know the phone number, and I hate to say it like this, but this is the truth, right? I tell you as real as it is. If you don't know the phone number, even if they're as good as they are, because they're trained to get you to say things that you wouldn't normally say, don't pick up the phone, because that's all they're going to do. If you know you got charge-offs and collections, if you know you have those on your credit report and you see a number you don't know, probably not a good idea to pick it up, because that's how they get you to confirm your identity. Once they have that, you're done. Now, let me tell you another thing you could do really bad. Pay a collection or charge off. Because essentially what you're doing there is really you're dead in the water, because now you just made a payment and admitted guilt. So a lot of people ask me, I'm trying to buy a house, I'm trying to get a car. Should I pay this collection? Should I pay this charge off? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I don't condone it. And I'm going to tell you, if you pay it, guess what you're going to have now? You're going to have a paid collection on your credit report. By the way, your score will not go up one single point when you pay a collection. But now, guess what else happens? Now you have a new 7 years, and now you have a paid collection satisfied. It's going to look bad. How about if you could actually remove the entire account and not paid any collection? There's a big difference here. And you see with FICO T that just came out, they can do a 2-year look back on your history, your utilization, what's been going on, how you've been spending your money, what kind of loans have you been getting, how many applied credit cards, how many inquiries you have. And you guys are passing, BMW and Mercedes, and you can't even help yourself. Go in there and end up getting 15 or 20 inquiries. What if I show you how to get rid of your inquiries in 72 hours? That's in the credit game. 72 hours. Anything that's not attached to an open account does not need to be on your credit report. I don't care if you have 0 collections and 0 charge-offs. If you have a certain amount of inquiries, you will not get approved for a hamburger. You could have 0 charge-offs and 0 collections. No negatives. But yet, you have, guess what? You have 15, 20 inquiries. Good luck. Doesn't matter. You're not getting approved, because what happens is they put an internal flag on your system for the inquiries. And you get a certain amount of inquiries, they think that you're looking for credit, bing, bang, boom, and they put an internal flag on the system, and when you go to apply, which is counterproductive, because you would think that somebody searching for more credit would be a good thing, but it's actually a bad thing, because when you apply for credit, they think that you are searching for credit because you're cash strapped. And that's the last thing that people want to do, is lend you money when you're cash strapped, because then you can't pay it back. What if you knew how to remove the inquiries in 3 days? Okay? What if I shared with you how to remove collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, foreclosures, judgments, repos in 14 days? What if you knew how to do that? How does your life change? What could you do now? Could you get that car you've been always wanting? Could you get your first house? Could you get your rental property? Could you get the credit cards, the high-limit credit cards? Your whole life changes. The minute you start increasing that 3-digit number called the FICO, everything changes. You actually can start living life how you want. And this is another huge mistake I see people do. They get credit cards and then they increase spending. What you don't want to do is get into what they call a huge problem with credit debt, because people don't understand that if you have a bunch of credit cards and you have a lot of debt on them, it could really get bad and snowball in the negative way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to snowball a good effect in a second. But just because you get a $10,000 credit card doesn't mean you're going to get the Louis Vuitton shoes, your red bottoms, and you guys are going to go spend $4,000 on a pair of shoes, right? Because now you're just increasing spending just because you got a credit card. Use credit cards as a tool to build credit. Use them, pay them off. Because that's why credit card debt now just surpassed mortgage debt. Because people don't know how to responsibly use them. But if you were in a credit game, I show you exactly how to use them. I show you how to keep your utilization low. And I also show you that if you ever do get in a position where your debt is really high, guess what? Now you want to use the snowball effect in a positive way. And what that means is you want to start with your lowest credit limit card. Let's say you have 3 credit cards, 200, 500, 1,000. You're going to start with the 200 and you're going to do everything in your being to pay that $200 credit card completely off. Okay? You need momentum, which is why they call it the snowball effect. So as you start building a snowball and pushing it up the mountain, it's difficult at first, but then it just kind of rolls down smoothly, right? It's called a snowball effect. So what you want to do is you want to get that $200 credit card paid off. Okay? No matter what, you start with the lowest credit card limit that you have, paid off. Then you've got momentum. You're like, cool, I'm making progress. Then you move up to the 500. You do everything you can. If it means taking out 30, 40 bucks out of every check until it gets paid off, boom, 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 paid off. Now you've got serious momentum because now you got 3 cards, a 2, a 5, and a 1,000. Now you've paid off your 2 and 500, and then you're going to tackle the highest credit limit. You've already got so much momentum, and your belief is strong. Remember, 70% belief, 30% mechanics. If you believe you can pay them off, you'll pay them off. So now, here we go. We're talking about 2 credit cards are paid off, then you knock out that 1,000, and now your credit cards are paid off, okay? There's also the option of consolidation loan, which I have videos on as well, where it pays off all your credit cards in one loan and lowers your interest and significantly lowers your payment each month, okay? But I did a video on that as well. But for the purposes of this, I want to share with you something. Don't get into a position where you have collections and charge-offs. If you can just put your credit cards on auto pay, I preach this almost every single video. Put your credit cards on auto pay. Call the back of the card. Say, hey, I would like it to come out of my checking account on the statement closing date, not the due date. I want the card to be paid from this checking account / savings account. Remember the last video I did? Savings account. I want it paid on X date, which is the statement closing date of the card. Each card has a different statement date, so you have to call the back of the card and say, hey, what is my closing statement date? Now so you know it's the 16th. You say, hey, I would like the minimum payment removed from my savings account to pay this on the closing statement date of the month. Do that for all your cards. Do that for your vehicle, okay? Because this is going to help you from not getting late payments to start with, which is the whole process that I just talked about of how to reverse it and prevent it before it gets to a charge-off collection status in the first place. So let's go back to collections and charge-offs. Now that you know that you don't have to pay them, is there certain documentation you can use to remove them? Yes. So inside the credit game, I have got letter number 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are proprietary letters. And just like I always tell you, you have the legal right to challenge anything on your credit report yourself, 100%, okay? Just like you have the legal right to lay your own carpet, put your tile down, and build your own home. You know, if you want to build your own home from the studs up, you can certainly do that, or you can hire a builder to do that. You can put your own roof on, or you can get a roofer to do it, right? You can do surgery on your heart, or you can have a heart surgeon do it. Just like credit repair, you can do it yourself. And the average person takes 18 to 24 months. So if time is not valuable to you and money is more important, then do it yourself. If you're like, you know what, Mike, I know that time's more important because I wanted to get stuff done and that's 3-digit numbers holding me back. And you don't value money over time because time is much more valuable for the smart people here that are listening to me. It's the most valuable commodity ever because you can't buy it back. You'll never buy back yesterday. I don't care how rich you are. Okay? What you can buy is time moving forward, though. That's what you can buy. So you guys that are here, like right now, they're listening to me, you got a 400, 500, 600, even early 700s, and you're like, look, these 3-digit numbers hold me back. 2 options. You could do it yourself. Inside the credit game, you have the proprietary letters, not the cookie cutter BS letters that you can find by Googling removal letters, collection letters, print. That's going to give you, remember, your letters are, when you send them in, they give you a code from 26 to 89. The higher the number, the more likely it's going to come off your credit report. Cookie cutter letters, 26. Proprietary letters in the credit game, you're going to be in the 80s. Okay? Now, third option, I have a vendor. They have 2 options. They have the fastest credit repair on the planet, known as the Maserati or our Associates package. Okay? That process results in 90 days. Okay? They also now have software. Okay? It's 2021, guys. They now have software where if it's a negative, obsolete, unfair, erroneous information, incorrect on your credit report, it can be removed now in less than 45 days. That's called our Lambo package. And take a second. Go to creditgameletteru.com and you'll see what people are saying. The results are absolutely astonishing. And I'm so thankful to have hundreds of 5-star reviews. But you'll just see in the last couple of weeks, since this Lambo package has been out less than 30 days, what people are experiencing. They can't all be wrong. You'll see the hundreds of reviews that people are putting up there. This works, okay? So option 1, do it yourself, 18 to 24 months generally, okay? Cookie cutter letters. Option 2, get inside the credit game. You'll have proprietary letters that are designed because I built it for myself, and the letters are phenomenal. And option number 3 is inside here. We have a vendor, okay, that can do the work for you, and you can sit back and do the things that you have to do, because I know you're busy and you got papers all over your desk and you're busy at work. The last thing you want to worry about is trying to figure out your credit report. How about having somebody professional do it for you so you can sit back, you can continue to make money and not worry about your credit, and then actually you'll see a huge, huge increase in your credit score. So 3 options. And guys, if you want the help, this is what we do, okay? So if you say, hey, you know what, I value money over time, and I just want, try to figure it out myself, that's fine. You guys work it out, do your thing. But if you want help, I want to help you. And what I'm going to do is I am going to include the Maserati today for the 3 callers that call me after watching this video. I'm including it with your proprietary letters on the house. So get into my associates package or above, and I will include the vendor's work for you as part of me paying that for you guys. I can only do 3 today. Also, I'm opening up, because the Lambo package did so well yesterday, I'm only doing like 1 spot a day. I opened up another spot as well. So after watching this video, if you guys say, look, I want the 45 or less day results, that's the Lambo. If you want the 90-day results, that's the Maserati package. You just have to call in and say which one you want. But I got 3 spots open on the Maserati, and I've got 1 spot on the Lambo. Once they're gone, because again, essentially these are services that are extremely effective. I'm also going to give you 50% off a trade line. So when your credit report's fixed, you can actually add a few trade lines and start getting approved for higher limits, because you can put the age on your credit. 50% off, like a broker program, right in here for you. No additional charge for the first 3 callers that call in. 904-420-7772. This is how you remove collections and charge-offs, and how you prevent them for serious callers only. I want to talk to you on the floor at 904-420-7772. Let's roll.